Welcome back, you guys, to yinDyang. Once again, very happy to be here. I think last videos was extremely powerful. At least it was for me rewatching it, and I hope it really resonated with you guys. And today's video, we're going to dive more into timing, but talking about prayers and waiting for God to answer those prayers that we put out there. So last week I ended talking about how I had to wait on God's timing in order to decide when I posted my next video for this channel, for yinDyang. And I want to talk more about that. So it's been about 4 months since I've posted. And for a while, like I mentioned, I was kind of like beating myself up for not having posted sooner. Am I being lazy? Am I this? Am I that? But I knew that I needed to wait on inspiration, because if my heart isn't fully into something, I'm not going to do it because it doesn't feel genuine. And this YouTube channel is something I have a lot of intentions towards, and I'm going to be genuine about. So I was praying one night, and actually I was journaling, writing out how my day went, and then I just started thinking about my channel. And I was like, you know what, let me just start praying. So I started praying, and then instantly the thoughts came, and what I was going to talk about for my first video, how I wanted to go about doing it, what the next video was going to be, and then how I was going to go about doing that, and everything just came to me all at once. And I was like, wow, it took 4 months to get this prayer answered. But I'm not mad. I have no regrets, and I'm grateful that it took the time that it did. Because if I had the inspiration before without the time, which I lacked beforehand, the video wouldn't have gotten posted. And God always answers, or we get what we ask for in our prayers, always on time. We're always on time. Everything is right on time, even when we think it doesn't match our own planning. Another example of a late prayer, or an unexpected timing for a prayer. When I was in undergrad, there was this one guy that I thought was so cool, and I was like, you know, we have a lot in common, but he doesn't see me. Like, he sees me, but he doesn't see me. He doesn't see how much alike we are. And I really just, like, it wasn't even on like some flirty vibes. I knew we'd be great friends if he would just see me. And it took until after I left the school, and then until after he graduated from that school, we became friends after, and we still live miles and miles away, completely different states. But now, like, he's one of my closer friends. And then another example that's even longer period than that, I think of my relationship with one of my relatives. Like, we were very different, and we always butted heads, and we never really got along. And I would always pray, like, God, can you help me build a relationship with them? Can you help us connect, or be patient, or at least be kind to one another? And it took about 20-ish years, 18 years maybe, until we actually have started to become friends. And now they're one of my closer friends now. And it's just amazing how we ask for things, and God always, it seems like God is taking his time to answer our prayers, but God is always on time. God knows the plan. Because maybe if we were friends before, we wouldn't be friends now, because I don't know. Well, God has a reasoning. I don't always know the reasoning behind things, but it always happens right on time. And a lot of times when we ask for things, or we really desire something deeply, it doesn't always come in the way we packaged it. Not only does it come on its own time, but the package is a lot different than we expected. When I was a little kid, I used to want to be an actor and a singer. And now I'm in chiropractic school, which is very different. But I still have the desire to act and sing, but differently. But also lining up with that is my YouTube channel. And although I'm not acting with a facade on this channel, it's still a matter of how you present yourself. And that's something that I've learned, or that I've carried through from acting, as how you present yourself and how you carry yourself in front of a camera, and also angles and coloring and lighting and aesthetics and backgrounds. That's something I've learned with a acting background, if you will. And then singing, I'm not a professional singer, but I still got to pursue that desire and love that I have for singing through singing in choirs and just singing for fun in my room, like most people do in the shower. And then, let's see, there was another one I had. Oh, this is a good one. So for all my life, I'd prayed for God to send me a man, future husband, you feel me? So I started to get more specific. I'm like, okay, God, can you send me a man that has this characteristic and he does this and he does that. And then when I was meditating with one of my friends, I realized that God did answer my prayer, but he answered it in a way that I didn't expect. Instead of me sending one man that I thought would be my future husband, God sent me multiple different young men that had each of those different characteristics, but were meant to be my friends. And I thought that was very powerful, because at that time, I didn't need a relationship. I needed a friend, and I needed for someone to be there for me at a friendship level instead of at a relational level, because of where I was in my growth process and where all of my focuses were. Because it's a lot more energy investment in a romantic relationship, and it's different emotional investment and energy investment when it comes to having a friendship with somebody. So yeah, when you continue to pray on whatever we're dwelling over, you're feeling, because God is going to answer that prayer. It may be a no. I don't really know how no's look, but because I feel like, okay, if you're not in alignment with God's will and God's plan for you, you're not going to get what you're asking for. I'll tell you that right now. But when you start aligning your will with God's will, those answers come and you always see them, although it may not always be in that time frame or timeline that you expect it to. And I would like to transition into talking about planning. I'm a planner at heart. That's who I am by nature. I'm a planner. I like to plan out my weeks and my days and my life in general. But I also have to acknowledge and keep in mind that my plan isn't always the plan, because God has a plan for me. And so whenever someone asks me about my future, I tell them what I would like and my ideals. But I always say that I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm keeping a lot of space open for what God has planned for me, because God's plan, as I've seen time and time again, is always better than my plan. I would say have an idea of what you want for your future. Make sure it aligns with you believe is God's will for you, and that comes from conversation with God. And then be open and willing for God to move. Make space for God to move so that can come when it's time. And then lastly, what I'd like to say is that it's great to ask for prayer, but you have to allow space for the answer. And you create space through meditation. It's where you silence your mind and you go to a state of peace and ease, because when you're in a state of peace and ease, so is your soul. And that's how God, the Holy Spirit, communicates through you. So you have to be patient and listen for your answers. And my last little quote is from Proverbs 3 verses 5 through 6. Lean not on thine own understanding, but in all ways acknowledge God. And that's through prayer and meditation, y'all. Okay, and that's it. Let me make sure I said that right. I'm gonna reread it. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine. Proverbs 3, chapter 3, verses 5 through 6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. Lean not on thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Trust that everything is going to unfold the way it has to in order for what you're asking for to come to fruition. Okay, now that's all I have for you guys. Until next week, let's go live life. Wait, real quick before you go, please feel free to leave questions and comments in the comment section, because I would love to start answering questions at the end of future videos. So if you guys have really nagging questions, I would love to try to answer them. So leave a comment in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, la-di-da-di-da. Oh, and check out the Instagram page for the channel, yinDyang.ng, for more updates of future posts. Okay, now I'm good. See ya.